All right. It is Cinephile Mike, your friendly neighborhood cinephile, here with day 16 of Award Season Review Season 2, and we are getting to the halfway point of Documentary Week. Today's film is A Tale of Discovery, written and directed by Asmae El Moudir, the mother of all lies. Now, The Mother of All Lies, distributed by Arizona Distribution, has some awards clout under its belt already. It was nominated for 3 international documentary awards, including Best Feature Documentary, Best Writing, and Best Director, which is the award that it has won. Additionally, it has been nominated for Best Documentary at the Independent Spirit Awards and also as an Outstanding Producer of Documentary Motion Pictures for the Producers Guild Awards. Now, box office wise, this film hasn't been released yet theatrically, so as far as I can tell, so there's no box office numbers to report, despite my best research. Now, this could prove difficult because the calendar, the year's almost over in 11 days, and films to be Academy eligible need that 7-day window. However, there are some special exceptions to the rules when it comes to documentaries. And given that The Mother of All Lies is Morocco's official entry for the Best International Film category, documentary may not be in reach. Again, there are exceptions to the exceptions, and anyone who's really interested can go into the Oscars.org and review the rules and exceptions. I don't want to sit here and talk about that because I am here to talk about the film. Now, Mother of All Lies starts out with the generic question we've all asked ourselves: who am I? This is the journey our filmmaker El Moudir will go on as she begins her trail to self discovery. Her inspiration to start this is she wonders. When she was 12 years old, she went and had a photograph taken, and this was the first photo she took. She wondered why there were no photos of her before 12 years old. Her family gave her one photo and they said, oh, well, she's the girl in the back. That's a little blurry, but that seems a little bit remiss. Now, her grandmother, the main focus of this documentary, although her disdain for the camera following her can be felt like a blunt punch to the face, she tries to avoid these questions, but that sole photo, again, it's a little suspect. Now, to continue this journey with the help of her father, El Moudir will begin to reconstruct as a model the city of Casablanca that she grew up in. However, in building this model and putting this together, this is now going to force the family, not just the grandmother, but El Moudir's parents as well, to revisit some very painful times historically that the family went through. Specifically, her father and grandmother will recount the events around the bread riot that occurred in Casablanca in 1981. Now, these events had long lasting impacts on her family, and as a result, her family tried to close themselves off from these, and now we have an interesting documentary that's going to make them revisit it. Shifting voices, the filmmaker's story is told by herself, but narrated in the voice of what is meant to be a young, childlike variant of herself. Now, El Moudir shoots footage in the talking head style, as well as having the camera present with the family. Also, portions of the story are told through some stop motion animation within the city that her father and her are building with the dolls and creating the different settings they were in. By recreating this model, it forces them to recall these memories because it's bringing here that they had otherwise repressed. And it brings them to the forefront so El Moudir can piece together, that question: who am I? Why only this photo? In more than just a documentary, we see that this is also a version of art therapy, where people are coming to terms with the horrific events that they experienced in their lives and learning how to cope with them. There have been a few other documentaries that have, presented the art therapy approach that have been very effective to help people accept what they experienced and move on to continue their lives. Now, she learns not just of herself, but of the country with which she came from. These memories, for want of spoilers I will avoid, are not always the easiest for them to revisit. In fact, there's a point where we hear the narrator say, we don't measure how much silence hurts until the day we speak. Let's just say that it does. Now, I feel that while we haven't had an official theatrical release of The Mother of All Lies, we haven't heard the end of it. For me, this film, like the other documentaries, is 4 stars. I appreciated the different mediums that El Moudir employed in order to tell the story of her life. Now, really quick, you may be saying, wait, hold on, Cinephile Mike. If this film hasn't been theatrically released, how did you see this? Well, as you can choose to, if you so become, and I'm not doing a plug, just explaining, I have recently become a member of the International Documentary Association, and one of the perks, should you choose membership, is that for a pocket of time, so until December 31st, members have access to view the nominated feature length documentaries and the shorts. And so this was something I decided to do so I could bring this information to all of you because I learned through the research that a lot of the Oscar nominees come from here. So this was a way to get ahead of them before they get released into select theaters. Now, if that is something that interests you, you can visit documentary.org. So, but again, I point out that you only have a few days to take advantage of that. However, the nice thing, once you activate a rental, unlike most streaming platforms where from the second you click it, you only have 48 hours to watch it, here they provide you with 7 days. All right. So that is where I'm going to leave you for today with Documentary Week. The next 4 films in this week are dedicated to artists, both the visual and the written and the musical. Similar to Bobby Wine earlier in the week, but even more so. Tomorrow, we are going to be looking at Poet Laureate Nikki Giovanni. Until then, thank you for joining me, and this is Cinephile Mike saying, take a break and watch something new.